Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is a review for life. Child, it be love, life, living, whatever. Uh, Life at the Lockup. This is season 5, episode 44. Foolishness all up and through. Okay, but y'all know first things first. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Follow me on social media at Jaylee's Corner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. By the time y'all see this, I did review Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. So that review is probably either, if it's not already up, it will be premiering sometime today. I think I'm going to do Love after Lockup at around 11 a.m. And then I'll probably put Beauty in Black at around 12, maybe 12:30 or whatever. But y'all go watch my review for that too, okay? Anyway, y'all, let's get it started. I will not be on camera because I don't do on camera for this show, okay? But y'all, the people around here are still fooling. As you see from my little my title, Tennie need a job, British Rash decision, and Justine is out here avoiding reality, plus more. Okay, now first up, Kimberly and Joey. We did not see Joey this episode, which is fine by me because Joey, some about Joey don't sit well with me, and I feel like Kimberly know it too, and she wants us to avoid it or whatever. But I can't put my finger on it, but it's not good or whatever. Okay, but anyway, we see Kimberly out here wedding dress shopping with her cousin. Okay, she's like, this is her third wedding. She got married the first time in 2013, the second time in 2018, and this will be the third time. And this is probably recorded in either 2022 or 2023. I don't think it was 2024, but it could be. I don't know. Okay, matter of fact, no, I think this probably was 2023/2024. Okay. Anyway, but again, this will be her third wedding, and she said third time is a charm. He's the best thing. I love him. I've always wanted him. And bloppy bloppy bloop and bloopy bloopy blop. Okay. Now she's out here shopping for the wedding dress with the same cousin who Joey dated back in the day, the same cousin who Joy took the cousin's virginity, the same cousin who came to the engagement party, okay, and had to leave because she felt uncomfortable. I'm like, will somebody fix it, okay? Now the cousins still feel like Kimberly can't trust Joey, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna leave it be or whatever, okay? Now while she trying on dresses, okay, Kimberly lets us know, and her cousin know too. Hey, guess what, cousin? I am still legally married. And I was like, I remember before her saying that I feel, I'm not tripping. I feel like she said I'm still legally married, but by the time he come home, it should be done, done, done. He been home for a few months at this point. I think it's like 2 months or whatever. But again, her and the husband are still legally married. That is the same guy who was the father to her children. Okay. And she said, well, Joey thinks, because Joey don't know. Joey thinks it's about to be finalized. Joey don't have no idea. Child, it ain't nowhere near being final. And she's like, cousin, you really you still married? Oh my god. Okay. Now she said the first time I got married and divorced, I just had to sign some stuff after about a year, and then it was final. But this time with this marriage, that's not the case. I looked it up online and things are different. Now I'm like, was you married in two different states? Because different states do have different rules. And ma'am, you can't be just cross pollinating married and divorce rules. I don't know. Okay. But she got to, I said, this is ridiculous. Because how are you out here engaged, living with this man, but you don't even know about your first, well, the second divorce? Okay. It ain't, anyway. It's weird. Okay. Anyway, the cousin then brings up how, well, you need to tell Joey. Okay. Because he deserves to know. Now, I agree that he do need to know because if y'all can't get married right now, y'all can stop spending money that y'all ain't got. Okay. Now she then brings up how I'm just so nervous. Okay. Because what could happen, okay? You know what I'm saying? Also, he keep pushing me about the DNA test. He keeps pressuring me, whatever. So we had it done, and now he's pressuring me about the results or whatever. And I'm nervous. What if the DNA test affects my divorce? Because again, remember, she's divorcing the man who was the father to do kids. So she's like, what if he finds out that I had one of our kids DNA tested or whatever? I hate when he lied to me, so I can't lie to him. And all of this is a lot going on, and it can affect my kids and whatnot. And cousin said, do you feel like Joy is out here like pushing you to do stuff like the wedding, the DNA test? Like, is it smart? Shall we? I do think I do. Yeah, he is. He is pressuring me. Yes. I mean, I want to, but he's like pushing me. Okay. Cousin said, what if he's trying to like take advantage of you? Like, what if he like marries you, then like divorces you, and like gets your money? Okay. What if he proves that the kid is his, and then you have to pay him child support? I said, child, is it a scheme that Ty set up to bring us the bull stuff? It's possible. Okay. But Kimmy said, I'm just nervous. I said, ma'am, it's a lot to be nervous, but you are marrying or engaged to and living with a former drug addict, okay, who's pressuring you to get married, then it test your kid. Girl, anything can happen, but we shall see. Bianca and Daniel, I don't know why they're here. Okay, can someone explain to me what they're here for? This is a train wreck on the way to Georgia. Okay, it's the midnight train to Georgia. They leaving on the midnight train. Woo woo! Somebody get him off. Okay, now he's only been out for 3 days. They have argued each of the days. Okay, he's still upset because she went to the bar and got drunk with his cousin. Okay, why would you do that? We keep having a conversation at how I am a recovering alcoholic and liquor triggering for me, and you're already going out and getting drunk. Okay, now they sit down talking or whatever. And look, I said this shit is ridiculous because she's like, I just felt like, you tricked me. We're here or whatever. You've been out for a few days. You haven't proposed to me yet. Okay, it's like you don't want to commit. Like, I don't have a ring. He's like, I never told you that I would propose to you as soon as I got out. I never said that. Well, no, you never said that, but it's what I expected. I said, ma'am, that's not how any of this works. The fact that you first said, you let me on, you tricked me in prison and made me think, and he was like, well, I never said that. Well, you didn't, but you made me. I just felt like that's what would happen. I expected. I said, ma'am, that's stupid. He don't have nothing. Okay, we almost got married. We almost got married. I mean, we didn't do it, but when we were locked up, we were almost got married. He said, "Yeah, we did. We did the paperwork or whatever." However, I am very happy we did not do it. Man, look, me and the bad guy were going to get married when we was in prison. I would have child again. I was 19 at the time, and we were engaged before he went in, and then he got found guilty. He got sentenced to 2 years for a gun charge. He got sentenced to 2 years, and like a year into it, he like, we should just get married while I'm here. And like we had literally like was going to do it, and then I was like, well, maybe we can just wait until you come home. And that child, thank the Lord. Okay. So her saying, what almost happened? He said, well, I'm happy it didn't happen. Child, me too. Okay. He's so glad we did not do it. I was stressed back then. I was tripping. Okay. And I really should not have asked. But we shouldn't be together. Okay. If you don't, you want to commit to me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if we're married, it's a real commitment. You know what I'm saying? I just want to feel like you will do stuff for me. I was like, oh my God. She is again bringing up the goddamn coffee. I was like, why are they here? Why are y'all so fussing about coffee 3 days later? Girl, get over it. Okay, so he's upset because she kind of brings up the coffee situation or whatever. And then while they're going back and forth, he kind of raises his voice, which triggers her. She gets pissed. Don't yell at me. Don't raise your voice at me. Okay, if you raise your voice, we will break up. He was like, the fuck? What you mean? It's crazy. Now, should he yell at her? No. Not at all. But she said to me, I feel like when you raise your voice, it's the start of abuse. You will start yelling at me and then eventually you will beat me. And I said, well, I mean, for some people, that is the starting point. But for other people, some people to jail. And some don't. I'm not trying to negate her feelings. Clearly it's a trigger for her. But I also feel like, child, stop picking up a goddamn coffee, okay? Anyway, they fussing back and forth a little bit over the coffee, and she said, I just feel like in a relationship, it's not real. It's not real if you don't want to do stuff to make the other person happy. And he replied and said, at the end of the day, I don't want you getting used to me doing stuff for you. Okay. I don't want you looking at me as if I'm the maid, as if you could just tell me to do, like I'm going to cook and clean. I don't want you to get used to that shit. So, no, I did not make your coffee. Okay. Also, you can't rely on me. Okay. To do things for you just to make you happy. That ain't going to work. I said, child, I mean, look, I'm telling y'all, this is a midnight train wreck to Georgia. Okay. So they kind of talk it out or whatever. And she said, well, once we get married, will I be the only one doing things or whatever? He said, well, let's be real. Okay. If you want coffee, get your own coffee. I said, I hate y'all. They then both say sorry and kiss and make up. It's weird. They're both murderers. We did see Daniel. Now, I think she was on the phone with her friend too. I didn't care that much or whatever. Because she complains and it gets on my nerves. And he went to go talk to his cousin. Like, why was you getting drunk with her? Like, what happened there? He said, look, she was drinking or whatever. She did kind of admit that she had a drinking problem, but she does not want to quit. She spoke that, but then still had 3 drinks in the short time we were there. Okay. And then, Daniel brings up, I hate fighting with her. Like, I just hate fighting with her or whatever. And I just wish she would stop drinking because it do seem like it's a problem. It's like a red flag. When an alcoholic DUI person tells you you're a red flag, that's sad. Okay, that's sad. Cousin then is, oh yeah, also while sitting around at the bar drinking, she did mention, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have good sex. She said she wants more foreplay. He was like, what? She's talking to you about our sex life? He said, yeah, I told her I didn't want to hear about it. I told her, hey, you should talk to him, but she still mentioned it. He's like, I am not happy that she would talk to you about that. That is crazy. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared that staying with her can make things go bad or whatever. And everything can just go from zero to shit and go really, really bad. I am a bit afraid. You should be. They should not be together. They want 2 different things. They're 2 different people. Melissa and Louis. Melissa is she has very low self-esteem for many reasons. I think it's because of her nose that she didn't like, because of how she was treated in her past. I think she thinks she's ugly. I think Melissa thinks she's like an ugly old woman, and she isn't. She's not even old, but she has this complex in her head that Louis has to be doing something. Louis is trying to get other women, and I'm not good enough for him. So I'm just waiting for him to treat me badly and cheat on me with other women. It just proves to me she has low self-esteem, and she's kind of blaming it on Louis. I think she felt like, if I get an old guy from high school who was on drugs, who was in prison, I'm the best he could do. And now she sees he's a good looking guy. People like him. And she just sees him as he's going to fuck me over. And I'm like, man, he actually loves your crazy ass. Anyway, Louis done bought this $18,500 ring for Melissa. And now he has to ask her dad, like, can I marry your daughter? Okay. We then see Melissa out shopping with her sister. And then the sister was like, So I think I'm doing Louis. Okay. Now, again, he's been out at this point, I think like almost 2 years. And so Melissa feel like, well, Louis kind of already proven himself to be a good guy or whatever. He's been out doing well, so the family should not be trying to like force him to like keep proving himself or whatever. And so I love him. He loves me. Bam, bam, boom. Now she also brings up how, like in her past, old exes, old men, whoever in her life have just not been the best man. Like bad decisions, treated her badly, whatever. So she's holding on to that as if Louis could possibly hurt me like the other man, not knowing he wants to marry her. Okay. So they then go to dinner with her dad because it's her dad's birthday. When she said, I hope my dad is like taking care of himself because he looks skin and bones. Her dad did look more frail. It was his 70, maybe 74th birthday. You can tell like he has lost weight, but it could just be he's an older man. I hope the daddy ain't dead, child. I hope he okay or whatever. Maybe he needed a sandwich. I don't know. Anyway, Melissa, the one sister, and Louis go to like a little birthday brunch lunch with the daddy or whatever, okay? And then when Melissa walked her sister out to the car, Louis asked, hey, daddy, how you doing? So I love your daughter, and can I marry her or whatever? The dad said, you know what? I feel like y'all are meant for each other. you know she's been through a lot. Since you've been out, you've been doing really, really good or whatever. I can tell that you love my daughter, and yes, I approve of y'all getting married, which says a lot, because before he got out, he was like, I don't like him, he ain't shit, get him from around here, he gotta prove his worth. And he said, you've proven to me this how you've been, like you're a good guy, and I don't have to worry about you and my daughter how I have had to worry in the past about other men she's been with. That's great that the daddy said, you know what, you can have her. We then see Melissa's at home, like watching maybe like TikTok or whatever. And so remember, Louis also does like fitness training or whatever. And so she's watching a like TikTok he did where he's like, with our shirt on or whatever, but he's advertising him as a personal trainer and stuff. I'm like, if that's it, look, if he has to like show a little nipple, show a little chest to make ends meet, let that man make the ends meet. He just spent $19,000 on a ring. And it's crazy because it's like she's up here complaining while he's out there doing stuff for her to surprise her with marriage. And she is at home soaking because as she says, I'm not a priority anymore. When he was in jail, it was always me, me, me. Because he was in jail. Because he was in jail. And now he's working a lot or whatever, and she just feels as if she is no longer his priority. I'm like, girl, that ring is. He had to work all them hours to pay for that ring. Anyway, so he gets home. Now remember, he also worked at a pizzeria. And he came home with pizza. Look, typically if a person works at a restaurant, you do or might have a lot of food from said restaurant. Why? Because it's fucking free. And so he comes home with the two pizzas. She's in the tub. He's like, oh yes, it's nasty time. She's like, no, this is my bad. I'm tired. I work, I did the US girl. I worked at the post office today. At the bar, I am tired, okay? And you're here. Why are we keeping pizza? Okay, we work all these jobs and all these hours. We should be able to afford more than pizza. He like, we go out to eat all the time. So we do other things, but I mean, bitch, it's pizza. What do you want me to do? Okay. And then she's basically complaining because she just, you're always, working, on the little TikTok, okay, making little videos of the women calling you, these clients, these women. I'm like, girl, how you, that man is at home with you eating pizza in the bathtub. Okay, that what he not somewhere else, girl. Then his phone rings and he answers. He picks the phone up to answer it. She throws a wet rag and slaps him in the face. I said, girl, not throwing the rag at that man's face. Was the rag clean? I hope your cooch wasn't on it. And he gets pissed because again she threw a wet rag that slapped him in the face on camera. So he knocks over the pizzas. Like you won't eat this pizza. Okay, and walks away. And he's on the phone with like a client or whatever. Child Melissa's again, she is very much so low self-esteem having person. And it's like I hope you watch this season and realize because you're batshit crazy. Okay. Britney and Key Rock. I'm bored. I am. Brittany is still denied for the move to Texas. Now, remember, Key Rock has been approved to move to Texas, but she has not. So they're waiting for her to be approved before they move. Now, we see that because, again, she was denied. They were at that little motel. They've since left the motel because, again, it's going to be 45 more days. And they're now staying with Key Rock's stud daddy, Coffee. Now, we seen Coffee, I believe, last season. Coffee is like the stud daddy, which means Coffee is a gay stud woman, you know. And I believe, stud daddy Coffee is like the stud daddy to somebody they met in prison. But I remember we seen Coffee either it may have been I think it was the first whatever first season Kira got out, we seen Coffee at that point in time. Anyway, because they left the little motel thing, Coffee allowed them to come live at his place, okay, on the air mattress or whatever. And y'all can stay there as long as y'all want to. They're paying stud coffee. They're paying Coffee $300 a month for rent. Because they're trying to save money to not have to, spend, full price for whatever else. To me, I feel like what's better, having your own bed at a motel versus sleeping on an air mattress in somebody's living room who has dogs. I don't know. Okay. I hope I never have to find out. Anyway, but again, they're trying to save money. Now, Keepak brings up how he has not worked at all in months. Because again, we were moving, I quit my job or whatever. He says, so since I quit my job and we're still here, we're living off my savings. And, to survive. But if I don't find a job soon, what we gonna do? I'm like, why would you? The fact that Keepak said, I haven't worked in months, and I do not want to get a job here because once Britney is approved, we're gonna move. I'm like, you can. That's so dumb to me because you can still get a job here, and you will just have to quit when it's time to go. But I'm not going to not work and not have no income and be just continuously spending money out my savings. Okay. Anyway, Brittany then they're sitting down discussing finance. Okay, we spent $1,400 on the rent in Texas. We was paying $300 for coffee here. My nails cost this amount of money, our cell phones, this amount of money, whatever. So this is the outgoing expenses. When he said her nails is like $500 a month, I said, bitch, what? You up here living in a motel, but you're spending hundreds of dollars on your nails a week. That's stupid. If you don't put them things, girl, anyway, yo, why does it, girl? I was like, that's a waste of money. You hear me? Anyway, Bree then suggests, hey, why don't you go to Texas? Okay, because you can leave. If you go to Texas, go to work because you have a job in Texas waiting on you. You can make money there and then we'll just wait for me to come or whatever. He was like, no. He like, because what if you never get approved? Well, I don't know. Okay, so keep right there and say, look, the only way I'll leave is if before I leave, we get married. Let's elope, have a small wedding or whatever. And so that way, once you reapply, I'm now your spouse, meaning we're family, okay? And then hopefully Texas won't deny you because I can then add you to my lease because why? You're my spouse. We're family. So then Brie, you know what? I wanted a big wedding, but let's do it. I was like, okay. So they agreed they want to have this get eloped, have a small wedding. And that way, they can put down we family and stuff and blah, blah, blah. We'll have a larger wedding later on. And that'll be that. So within the next 2 weeks, we're going to have to get married. So we do see Brittany shopping for a wedding dress with her best friend. So the best friend, like, I don't think it's smart for y'all to elope. I feel like, have you called your PO? Like, what? How do you know that eloping won't mess up stuff? Like, how do you just assume it will help? You don't know shit, okay? You never know. Now, Friend think Britney is dumb. Friend think Britney is always just following Key Rock's ideas, and then the shit backfire, and they have to figure it out. Just like every time Key Rock has made some kind of long-term decision, it has kind of backfired. Okay, so friend convinces Britney to have called the PO just to mention like what would happen if blah blah blah. So she called the PO. Okay, they like look, because she said, "Hey, me and Key Rock plan to get married. We're gonna elope in a couple weeks." So the PO said, "Look, I don't know because the state of Texas at times feels as if people do that to trick them. Okay, like it's fraud, and they don't want people trying to pretend to be married, to pretend to be family, just to get approved. Okay, so they look at that as fraud. So I don't suggest getting married right now because it could backfire. Now I feel like I guess it was I fully get what the PO said, but I'm like, it's 3 seasons of them on the show showing they're an actual couple. Like they got engaged. Oh, I feel like there's enough proof that they're not frauding them. But I get the PO's point in saying you don't even want to risk it because they can deny you again because they feel that they think you're trying to play with them. Okay, so maybe do not elope. Anyway, Kira on the other hand is is at the house with Stud Daddy Coffee and wants to call his mom. He feels as if I know me and Brittany agreed that we would not tell anybody. However, my mom was already upset because she did not know about us not being able to move to Texas. So I do not want to not involve her so I can tell her just as she feels like a part of the thing. Okay, the mom don't answer, and the Kirac still, I can't wait to get married. I'm like, just wait to find out you can't. Okay, or not you can't, that you shouldn't. Next up we have Tennie and Rob. I still don't like Tennie. And I've scrolled TikTok and I've seen posts of them, so I know they're still together or whatever. But Tennie and their mama, they still don't sit right. That she mushed that man mom in the face, y'all. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like it. Even if she could admit, if Tennie would just admit, even though his mama get on my fucking nerves, if she could just admit, I should not have gotten physical with her. If she could at least acknowledge that part, I wouldn't have an issue. But I'm like, that part still don't sit right with me, Tennie. Anyway, Rob has been out for 6 weeks at this point in time. Okay, now Rob is working right now. He brought up how it was hard for him to find a job at first because again, he was in prison for like 16, like 16 years or whatever. He says for him when he first got out, like once they got the part of like the background check or whatever, it went bad because again, I had been in jail for so long. He said, but I got a job. It's temporary, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing like a little truck inspections and whatnot. And so like this is going to work for right now. Okay. But later on, we don't know. Now seeing him getting up for work, the kid was up doing school shit, and I said, Tennie, why you in the bed? Everybody up, Tennie. You the only one that ain't got shit else to do. Why you in the bed? Okay. Anyway, so he went to work, and then she came to meet him for lunch with sandwiches. Okay, because again, he also said the amount of money I made in prison is way more than what I'm making here. I'm not trying. I know how to do some quick hustle things, but I won't do that. Okay, so he was gambling in prison, so some kind of way, child. Gambling in prison is a money maker. So he's just not making as much money now as he did before, and he knows that, and he like, hey, we gotta watch the monies, okay? The money ain't coming in how we used to and whatnot. So when Tennie comes to me in for lunch at the little yard or whatever, he said, this job is gonna be temporary, you know what I'm saying? And that when I get my license to drive trucks, it's gonna cost about $5,500. So money real tight. Okay, money real tight. But at least he like, okay, I need to do something. And y'all know most times most truck drivers make good money. So I do think a lot of truck drivers be child ex felons. So, whatever. But at least he wants to do something that will make them some money. Okay. And so he tells her, like, Tennie, look, for the past year, you know what I'm saying? You've been at home, not working. And so I do think, right now it's time for you to get a job. Okay, I cannot afford to have you at home with no paycheck anymore. The money different now, whatever. And you had a year off of working, so yeah. And even look, people would love it if their spouse could, make enough money to where they don't have to work. They could be a stay-at-home person. But again, once the money gets funny, I need your help. Okay, chip on in. You know what I'm saying? He also brought up how Tennie has a shopping habit, and I feel like what's a mama's issue? Tennie is out here not working and spending all this money, and so much so that the what my son was doing to help me, he can't anymore. I do wonder, is that it? Because him making it clear that she spends a lot of money, and she did that before he came home, and she's still kind of doing it now. Um, 'Cause, is that an issue? Okay, and so again, you need to go back to work. Okay. She said, well, I can do that. I can go back to work. I can freshen up my resume and get a job in a couple weeks, okay? And I enjoy my break being off, whatever. But yeah, I get it. Now I feel like some people say I can get a job fast, ma'am. Are you sure? Anyway, but again, at least she was like, yeah, I can go back to work. It's fine, fine, fine. Because some women might say, hell no, you better work harder. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But she was open to helping her family. Okay. Now, again, she said, I can get a job in a couple weeks. I said, girl. So he said, okay, cool. So how about, again, as we said before either of us makes any like, expensive purchase or whatever, like talk to me. Because again, at this point in time, he is the money person. So I do think it's fair if you're gonna spend any like a little large amount of money, not like $10 here, whatever, but if you're gonna spend like a couple $100, let me know. Okay, we gotta balance the books. Anyway, so a day or so later, whatever, at the house, she tells him how when her and the kids went swimming, how she paid for like a year or was a seasonal pass to the pool. He said, "What? It costs how much? 250." Again, 250 when he was in prison was whatever because again, the gambling money was rolling in. Now 250 can like child get a bill cut off. Okay, it's like we just talked. We agreed that anything over $100, like we would discuss. Like I can't. That's oh my god, you're spending money as if we do not have money issues. And I said, "Child, Teeny, what you doing, girl?" What? Well, first of all, the 250, that was cheaper than anything else. Even if we did, events or whatever, or summer, the 250 is cheaper than what we would have spent on other stuff. And I'm like, girl, not you making excuses. You know what I'm saying? So he was upset. He said, you keep saying that you can get a job in 2 weeks and you ain't got one yet. I just said that, okay? Give me 2 weeks, I will have a job. And in the meantime, in between time, you have 2 weeks to get that goofy ass tattoo covered. I said, girl, he has his ex-girlfriend's face covered. I mean tattooed his show, his arm or whatever. I said, ma'am, if y'all can't afford the 250 swim passes, he can't afford to that tattoo, a tattoo cover up. Y'all don't have the money. Okay, you can't tell him to spend money. His point is we ain't got none. Okay, so that was them. Lastly, Michael and Justine. Justine to me is avoiding reality, and that is she should not be married to Michael. I just feel like I look, I would not want. I just feel like when you marry a person, you should feel if something happens to me, I'm okay if they're the ones who have to raise my kids. To marry someone and have kids with somebody and then say, you know what, if I die, yeah, he can't raise the kids. Bitch, what? What's going on? Okay. So they go see a lawyer because the doctor and them said, look, you may die in childbirth. Make sure to have a will and all of that stuff set up just in case. Okay. So when I can't think of one of them said, oh, this is this is some of the effects of how, they don't want to have, no one wants to have the conversation of dying. And I was like, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? People need to stop acting like having the when I die conversation is not important, because it is. Because the last thing you want to happen is you die or someone in your family dies and nothing is in place, nothing is in order, and then you either can't bury somebody, you gotta do a GoFundMe for your child. Look, a person I know, I went to high school with them, and they had their mama died. Then, like a month later, their sister died, and both times said person had to have a GoFundMe because they were not prepared for death. And I'm like, people, you have to stop acting like anyone will live forever. If you have children, you need to have life insurance and a will, okay, on yourself and on the children, because God forbid your child passes away. Okay, you want to have these things just in freaking case. You do not want to have a death happens and no one can plan for the funeral, or no one knows any information, or there's money sitting somewhere that can't nobody get to because ain't no beneficiary or whatever. So get your. The point is, you need to have your affairs in order so when you die, you can be buried properly and no one is left trying to figure shit out. Okay, so no one should feel as if the conversation of when I die is not important. It is very important, because who has time to be grieving and trying to raise money? Girl, them coffins is expensive. Okay, anyway, I went off a little tangent. Justine brings up how, well, if something was happening to me, you know what I'm saying? Um, I would want like life saving met, like, save my life, yes. However, once it's to a point where there's like no quality of life, let me go. Do not keep me alive by machines. Michael feels that, well, that's unfair. That's wrong. He's just like, no, like, would you want my kids seeing me there, like, only alive by machines or whatever? Like, would you want that for me? No, okay. But what if you get better? She's like, yeah, but if I don't? But that's the point of having those kinds of conversations. A lot of folk like, do not leave me alive if the only thing that's keep me alive is the machines. Like, once they're like, look, technically, there's no quality of life. Even if she comes back, her quality of life will be like at 5%. It's like, no, let me go. Okay? No, don't do that. Okay? But those are her wishes. So her point was, I know he would not do what I want, so I need to make sure someone knows. Okay? They then discuss the kids' custody. Okay? Because again, she has, the three kids that are not his, and the younger two, this two sons are 14 and 11. They have the same dad. Now, the fact of the matter of the daddy, him, I think the dad does not live in this country. I think that's what it could be or whatever. But the fact that if she dies, the boys can go with the daddy. Okay, right, I know the nigga. Anyway, and she said, well, if I was to die, you know, the daddy, when I have custody, okay, so I would want to leave them to my daughter. He was like, what? He's pissed. He's upset. He walks out. I'm like, see, he can't even have a mature conversation. He gets mad and he leaves. Girl, Justine, you are avoiding reality that he ain't the one, my love. Okay. Anyway, he feels, okay, well, if something happened to her, I feel like him saying it'll be my job to take care of the family. Sir, that's true. However, she don't feel like you could do that without her there. She has to supervise you to feel like it's gonna be done right. Okay. Now she also brings up to the lawyer, because again, Michael done walked out. He outside. And she said, look, well, me and him have been married for 2 years. We've been married for 3 years or whatever. Plus, not only that, he doesn't really know how to parent my son. My son is on the spectrum, so he does not have the best, caring this, the best patience to deal with raising a child on the spectrum. But I'm like, that's another reason I would not marry someone who can't handle my kid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fit to the kid. Again, even him being pissed at her son breaking the phone, where he then had a violent reaction. Child, that ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so her thing like I'm picking my daughter because my daughter has been with my son, my kids, my sons, their whole life. She's used to them, and yes, she's young, and I don't want to put that on her, but I just feel like she would be the better option based on my child needing like dealing, and y'all know dealing with children who are on the spectrum is difficult. If he can't handle my son when I'm here, I can imagine what he would do when I'm not here. He doesn't have the patience for it, okay? And it's for the best thing for my child to be with somebody who can handle him, okay? So the lawyer then suggests, well, how about y'all do like a co-parentingship where the daughter has to like make decisions, but Michael can still. It was I forgot how he worded it or whatever. But I'm like, her point is, I don't think she want that man being the only one raising the son. Okay, he comes back. Right, Mike comes back, and then she explains to him like, look, I just feel like you know what I'm saying. You don't have the experience raising a child on the spectrum, okay? And he said, I just felt like you always tell me that I am a good father, but you then pick somebody else to raise the boys. I just feel like if you were to die, I lose you, and I also then lose the family. So I just can't handle that, girl. Y'all ain't supposed to be married, period. Because what if you cannot trust? I don't like my best friend is married. Well, all her kids are grown. But Karla's married to her husband. If something had ever happened to Karla, she would never say, you know what, husband, you can't raise the kids because you don't marry somebody that you don't even child. God forbid, when we were younger and had something happen to my mom, she wouldn't have said, my dad. No, because you marry someone you trust with the kids. Okay, I don't understand marrying somebody who you don't feel is the best parent for your child if you're not here. I just don't get it. Anyway, I hope I had a good time. I did today. Okay, do not forget my review for the Tyler Perry movie. I'm sorry, the Tyler Perry TV show. It was an 8-part series. Part one. I reviewed that called Beauty and Black. So go watch that. It's on my channel. It's either already premiered or it's premiering in about an hour. So again, go watch it. Okay. Anyway, y'all know like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay. I will be live on Mondays at 9 p.m. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 9 p.m. Live days are now 3 days a week: Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 p.m. Anyway, I gotta go. I love you all. Bye.